In this video, I'll share with you how I replaced my cracked porcelain sink with a new one. When measuring for your new sink, first measure the width and length of the opening in your countertop. Then when selecting a new replacement sink, select a sink which has the inside dimensions a ½ inch longer than your sink opening. This will allow the countertop to overlap the sink by ¼ inch on all edges. My first step was to remove the cabinet doors to provide easier access. Now, after placing a pan underneath the trap to catch the water, I removed the P-trap fittings. With the P-trap fittings out of the way, now I remove all other fittings from the sink. So here's a tip. With the P-trap gone, that allows sewer gases to come up from the sewer line. So put a rag inside of the pipe to stop those sewer gases. Next, remove all of the clips that hold the sink in place. The sink won't fall after removing these clips because there's caulk that's still holding it in place. Prior to cutting the caulk and releasing that sink from the counter, I put a box underneath to prevent the sink from dropping to the bottom and smashing to pieces. Now, to remove the sink completely, I need to cut away the caulk that's holding it in place. First, I've taken a utility knife, I cut all the way around the sink. Next, I'll take a putty knife and a mallet and just drive the putty knife into the caulk to cut through it. After removing the sink, I used the putty knife to remove the excess caulk from the bottom of the countertop. Now that the caulk has been removed, it's time to put the sink into place and get it ready to secure. Using the box and some towels, I wedge the sink up as tight as I can against the bottom of the countertop. You can skip the box and towels if you have an extra pair of hands to help you hold it in place. Prior to putting the clips back in place and caulking, I suggest you just take a quick moment to check and make sure the overflow hole is at the front of the sink. Now it's time to place the clips into the slots in the countertop. At this time, I'm just going to hand tighten them. I recommend making sure that these clips are fully inserted into the slots. If they're not, you run the risk of cracking or chipping part of that countertop when you tighten those screws. After you have all the clips in place and hand tightened, it's time to take a look at your sink and make sure it's centered. Try to ensure that, to the best of your ability, that you have a ¼ inch of overlap on all edges. After ensuring that the sink is centered, I take a screwdriver and hand tighten the screws. When tightening, tighten in a crisscross pattern to ensure that you get an even distribution of pressure on the sink. Now that the sink is in place and tightened, it's time to put a bead of caulk around where the sink meets the countertop. I recommend using the GE Supreme silicone. I like it because it's highly resistant to mold. You can find a link to all the products I use in this video in the description below. After applying the caulk, it's time to wipe off any excess. I find the easiest method is just to take off pieces of toilet paper, wipe off a section at a time, and then throw the toilet paper away. Don't try using the toilet paper again, just throw it away, otherwise you'll be making a mess in other areas. Once you're done smoothing it out, go ahead and take the time to inspect it to make sure there are no gaps. If you find any, just go ahead and fill it in and wipe it off smooth again. Before reassembling all the fittings, go ahead and take the time to clean them out. This will help with the performance of your drain and keep the smell to a minimum. When reinstalling your flange on your sink, you're going to want to use plumber's putty. Don't use caulk. Plumber's putty remains flexible, and if you ever need to remove it again, it'll make the job a lot easier. Just take a small amount of the putty and in your hands roll it into a rope. After rolling it into a length that's long enough to go around the circumference, apply it so it completely encircles the circumference of the collar. Don't worry if you get too much, because it's soft enough it'll just squeeze out when you tighten it. Press the flange into the sink opening from the top. Then hold it into place with one hand while inserting the drain pipe with the other hand and tighten it until it's snug. Now the excess putty can be easily removed. With the drain pipe tightened snugly into the flange, it's now time to move the gasket up against the sink and tighten the locking nut. Now reassemble your P-trap and make sure you tighten all the joints together snugly. Insert the stopper and then with one hand hold the stopper and adjust it while inserting the stopper rod with the other hand. Ensure that the stopper rod nut is tightened snugly. Check to see that the stopper functions correctly. Then run some water down the drain, and then after running the water down the drain, verify that there are no leaks around any of the fittings underneath the sink. Hey, if you liked this video, click the like button. If you want to see more of my content, please hit the subscribe too.